Good evening, everybody. Happy Monday night here. It's been quite a start to the week as we have been battling these talks of COVID 19 and the coronavirus and all that's going on. We find ourselves in a place that's looking for hope. We find ourselves looking for a place that's looking for answers, for reasons. And I think this disruption to our daily lives is important to an extent. And that's because we are so used to the status quo, the norm, and often forgetting the people who are closest to us, forgetting the relationships, the family members, those who matter the most. And really, what a great time to retune and refocus on what is most important and most closest to us. So I've been going through this book by Tim Tebow called This Is the Day. And tonight, as I was reading through it a little bit and reflecting on some of the conversations I've had through texts, through phone calls, there's a lot of anxiety out there. There is. And this book, along with a few things I'm going to share from the Bible, is something that's just been super encouraging to me. But what I want to start off with is something on a more personal note. People often say, you're so calm, you're so composed, here you are reading these Bible verses. So when was the last time your faith was really shaken? When was my hope really shaken? When was I really nervous last? And I was 17 years old, 16 going on 17, flying back to Russia to see my family for the first time in almost 7 years. And I was really excited once I landed in the airport to go and see my extended family, to see my biological father. And as I was talking to my aunt and uncle, I said, hey, can we just go straight to his house so I can say hello, catch up with him? And I was praying and hoping that I would see him again and share all the good things that have happened in my life since being adopted. Well, my faith and my hope was shaken at that moment because my aunt turns at me and she says, well, Vanya, your dad, he was crossing the street just 6 months ago. He was drunk and he got hit by a car and he passed away. Coming back to Russia and getting that as my first news, boy, let me tell you, my hope, my faith was shaken. It put me in a very anxious place. A place of questioning, a place of wondering, is my faith even worth it? Why was I so excited to come back to Russia to visit my family and hear that just 6 months before my biological dad was crossing the street, got hit by a car and passed away? I missed him by 6 months. And that was super hard. But as I've gone from that moment forward, I've just hung on to a lot of the hope that not only the Bible brings, but what Tim Tebow is talking about in this book. And here's just something from one of the first chapters. He says, God gives today as a gift. He wants us to pursue it, not just for selfish ambition, but to do something meaningful with it, to use it to grow, to love others well, to help someone, to pursue a dream he put on our hearts. So just look at that sentence right there. Taking it back to this very day, this time of anxiety, of uncertainty. What can we do with this day, with tomorrow, with Tuesday? It's a gift. It's a gift. It's an opportunity to be closer to your kids, perhaps, closer to some of your friends through text or phone conversations, something that's been on your heart. You may have not shared it for months, for years. What conversations could be had? What healing could really take place in this time where sickness seems to be all around us? So yeah, use this time to grow, to love others well, to help someone, and pursue your dreams. And the cool thing about this is it removes our selfishness from the situation and it focuses on somebody else. But he goes on to say, this is the day to live without fear of the unknown. How perfect is that? We're not sure what's going on. There's anxiety, there's confusion, but it says live without fear of the unknown. without being chained by failure of what ifs. This is the day to be willing to change, to be open, to believe, to hope. If we don't attack each day with intentionality, it's almost like telling God thanks, but no thanks. It's almost like telling our friends, it's telling our family members thanks, but no thanks. What a surprising and maybe challenging time for some of us to adjust to life and to be at home or have our schedules change quite a bit. But why would we say no thanks to this opportunity? Why would we say no thanks to spending more time with our family, with making that phone call, with sending that text message? And what a blessing it is just to be a blessing, right? When you reach out and have that conversation, it feels just as good to know that you were able to speak life into somebody, to encourage somebody. So what Tim Tebow is talking about in this book is just incredible. It was really encouraging to me to read, and I hope it brings you some encouragement. But then he goes on to say in his first chapter here are the 5 things that he, as a very busy college player at the time, but also NFL and MLB and really a celebrity, what he wanted to focus on. And here are the 5 life goals that he made for himself. Number 1, show Jesus. We know he's a Christian. That's very important to him. For you, that might not be the case, but there are very important things down this list. It says, fight for those who can't fight for themselves. 3, take care of the people that you love with your resources, with your finances, or just blessing them in any way that you can. Be a protector of people. Where's their need? How can you help out? How can you protect somebody who's in need during this time? And he then goes on to say, pursue his dreams. So maybe there is even extra time for you to sit down and start writing that song you've been wanting to write, to start writing that book you've been wanting to write, or journal more. I mean, what an opportunity to take a time that's almost hopeless, that's full of unbelief, and redeem it. How can we redeem the time? And what Tim Tebow does in this book is just amazing. He talks a lot about redeeming the time, making most of the opportunity. So as I said earlier, as hard as that moment was when I found out that my biological father passed away, I clung to that hope, to the opportunity to bless others, to encourage others with what was difficult at the time, but now to give others hope and a purpose. So in this week alone, look at these multiple opportunities to redeem the time, to be a blessing to your family, to your friends, to really treat today and tomorrow and the next following days of uncertainty as a gift, as an opportunity. So know that these upcoming days are a gift. We're still alive. We're still full of opportunity. We're still friends. We're still sons and daughters. We're still parents. There are many opportunities in this season to be a blessing. So what I encourage you, do what Tim Tebow did, and he really inspired me to write down those 5 things. Over the next few weeks of uncertainty, what are the 5 things, 5 goals you can set for yourself to impact not only your life, your family's life, but even the life of those around you in this time of really isolation? And let me tell you that you're the first one to know that we're social beings. We're meant to be in relationships. We're meant to be in community. So when you set these 5 goals for yourself, you write down these 5 things you want to accomplish, it really brings you back into a sense of community, into a sense of purpose, and removes a lot of the anxiety, uncertainty, worrying into more actionable things. I love an example a pastor once told me. He said, Vanya, worry is like sitting in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't take you anywhere. What I'll leave you with is just one of my favorite scriptures in Philippians 4. It says, do not be anxious about anything. I mean, how timely is that? It's a time of anxiety, uncertainty. We all have those moments. We're all human. And in this time where we can't be in community as much, it's just a great time to make that phone call, to send that encouraging text, and remove a lot of that anxiety through doing that. So again, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving. I love that word, thanksgiving. It focuses on being thankful for the blessings that we do have, the amazing opportunities that we have to be with family, with friends in this time. Present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. So we're promised this peace, this peace that is really undefinable. It's beyond our understanding, and ultimately it goes on to say, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy. So all these positives, all these encouraging things, we're being encouraged here in Philippians. So when you're making that list of 5 things, those 5 goals you want to set, let this be almost your mission and a vision statement of how you're going to accomplish them. Think of what is true, what is noble, what is right, what is pure. I love that word, pure. In a time of toxicity and uncertainty and anxiety, this idea of pure thoughts, pure ideas, pure intentions is just so refreshing. Whatever is right, whatever is admirable, and if anything is excellent or praiseworthy. So you set that goal of 5 things to accomplish. Let it be summed up in that. That's what takes a lot of the anxiety away. That's a lot of what gives us that hope, or what renews our mind, flips that switch of thinking things are hopeless, things are out of control, things are crazy, to back to Tim Tebow's book. Today is a gift. We have a purpose, we have meaning, we have an opportunity to set those 5 goals for ourselves, for our families, to speak truth into the lives of those around us, and rebuild those personal relationships. I mean, we're stuck with our families. We're forced to be stuck with our roommates or whoever it may be. What a great opportunity to rebuild those personal relationships. So just a few things I want to encourage you with, share with you as we go through this time of uncertainty, but really a time of renewing our minds and renewing relationships, renewing our goals, and renewing our sense of purpose. Know that you are loved by God. I am praying for all of you, praying for the next few weeks, next few opportunities you may have to be that blessing. And if you don't mind, message me your stories of the goals that you set for yourself, of the positive encouragements that you heard back from somebody you reached out to, or just what you've learned in the time of being close with those family and friends who you're quarantined with perhaps in this time. So again, have a great night. We'll get through this time together as we think of things that are excellent and praiseworthy. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good night.